Max was a bright and adventurous 11-year-old with a love for animals. One sunny afternoon, while walking home from school, he heard a strange noise coming from an alley. Curiosity piqued, Max ventured down the alley and found a scruffy, but friendly-looking dog trapped under a pile of old boxes. Max quickly freed the dog, who shook himself off and then did something extraordinary. He spoke. "Thanks for the help, kid," the dog said, wagging his tail. Max's jaw dropped. "You can talk?" "Sure can," replied the dog. "Name's Rufus. And boy, do I have a story for you. A visit to the circus." Rufus explained that he used to be part of a traveling circus. "Did you know," Rufus said, "that the first circus in the United States was established in 1793 by John Bill Ricketts?" Max found this fascinating. Rufus recounted tales of daring trapeze artists, clowns with the ability to juggle flaming torches, and a lion tamer who could make even the fiercest lion roll over like a kitten. The escape from the magician. Rufus revealed he gained his talking ability from a magician who performed with the circus. One day, the magician tried a new spell, and poof, I could talk. Rufus said with a grin. But it didn't go as planned. Did you know that magicians' tricks often have a history dating back centuries, with the first recorded magic performance in ancient Egypt? Max laughed at the thought of ancient magicians pulling rabbits out of hats. The library chase. Suddenly, Rufus's ears perked up. "We need to get to the library," he barked. "There's something important there." They raced to the town library, where Rufus led Max to the history section. "Here it is," Rufus exclaimed, pointing to a dusty old book titled The Secrets of Talking Animals. Max opened the book and found a map. "It leads to a hidden treasure," he exclaimed. "The treasure hunt." Following the map, Max and Rufus embarked on a thrilling treasure hunt. They navigated through dense woods, crossed a rickety bridge, and solved ancient riddles. Rufus shared fun facts along the way. "Did you know," Rufus said, "that the longest treasure hunt in history took over 300 years to find the Oak Island treasure?" Max's eyes widened in excitement. The hidden cave. The map led them to a hidden cave. Inside, they found a chest filled with gold coins, sparkling jewels, and an old parchment. The parchment contained a recipe for a potion that could grant any animal the ability to speak. Rufus wagged his tail furiously. "Imagine all the animals we could help. Back home." With their newfound treasure and the magical recipe, Max and Rufus returned home. They decided to keep their adventure a secret, but Max knew life would never be the same with Rufus by his side. As they settled down for the evening, Rufus turned to Max and said, "Did you know, Max, that the bond between a boy and his dog is one of the greatest treasures of all?" Max smiled, knowing he had found not just a talking dog, but a true friend. A new adventure awaits. Max and Rufus spent the following days basking in the excitement of their newfound treasure and Rufus' ability to talk. They kept their secret tightly guarded, enjoying their special bond and planning their next adventure. One sunny afternoon, while exploring the woods near Max's house, Rufus suddenly perked up his ears. "Max, did you hear that?" he asked, his tail wagging furiously. Max listened carefully and heard a faint cry for help coming from deeper within the woods. Without hesitation, they sprinted towards the sound and discovered a baby fox caught in a trap. "We've got to help him," Max said urgently, kneeling beside the frightened fox. Rufus nodded in agreement. "Don't worry, little guy," he reassured the fox. "We'll get you out of there." Together, Max and Rufus carefully freed the baby fox from the trap. The grateful fox licked Max's hand and nuzzled against Rufus, who grinned with pride. The mystery of the missing kittens. Word spread quickly about Max and Rufus' heroic rescue, and soon they were known throughout the town for their kindness and bravery. One day, Mrs. Jenkins, the town's elderly cat lady, approached them with tears in her eyes. "Max, Rufus," she said, her voice trembling, "my kittens have gone missing. Can you help me find them?" Max and Rufus exchanged determined looks. "We'll do everything we can to find them, Mrs. Jenkins," Max promised. Rufus sniffed the ground, searching for clues. "Did you know," he said thoughtfully, "that cats have a keen sense of smell and can navigate their territory using scent markers?" With Rufus leading the way, they combed through the neighborhood, following paw prints and asking around for any sightings of Mrs. Jenkins' kittens. They encountered a mischievous squirrel who claimed to have seen the kittens playing near the old oak tree at the edge of the park. Rescue mission under the moonlight. As night fell, Max, Rufus, and Mrs. Jenkins ventured into the park. Moonlight filtered through the trees as they searched around the old oak tree. Suddenly, Rufus froze and perked up his ears. "I hear them," he whispered excitedly. Following Rufus' lead, they crept closer to a bush where they found the kittens huddled together, safe but scared. Mrs. Jenkins cried tears of joy as she gathered her kittens in her arms. "Oh, thank you, Max and Rufus," she exclaimed gratefully. "You've brought my babies back to me." Rufus wagged his tail happily. "Did you know," he said with a grin, "that cats have retractable claws that help them climb and hunt?" Mrs. Jenkins chuckled through her tears. "Oh, Rufus, you're a fountain of knowledge." The grand celebration. The town celebrated Max, Rufus, and Mrs. Jenkins' reunion with a grand feast in the park. People from all over gathered to honor their bravery and kindness. Max blushed at the attention but felt proud knowing they had made a difference. Rufus stood proudly beside Max, accepting pats on the head and compliments from everyone. "Did you know," he would say to the children, "that every animal has a special talent that makes them unique?" Max grinned as he watched Rufus share his wisdom with the townsfolk. He knew that their adventures were just beginning and looked forward to the next mystery they would solve together. The Secret Keeper. As they walked home under the starry sky, Max turned to Rufus with a smile. "Rufus, you're amazing," he said sincerely. "I'm so glad we found each other." Rufus wagged his tail and nuzzled against Max's leg. "And I'm glad I found you, Max," he replied warmly. "Together, we make a great team." They reached Max's house and settled down for the night, their hearts full of happiness and friendship. Max knew that Rufus was not just a talking dog but a loyal companion who had changed his life forever. As they drifted off to sleep, Rufus whispered one last fun fact to Max. "Did you know, Max, that the bond between a boy and his dog is one of the greatest adventures of all?" Max chuckled softly. "I do now, Rufus. I do now." And so, Max and Rufus continued their adventures, solving mysteries, helping others, and cherishing their special bond, one fun fact at a time. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed learning something new today, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We release new videos packed with fascinating facts regularly, covering everything from history to science and beyond. Hit that subscribe button now and join our community of curious minds. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment with your favorite fun fact from today. See you next time for more mind-blowing facts.